Hello, my name is Brenna Condon, and this is my response for SGS340 Debate 3 Side A. So, this is my response. Excuse me, sorry, I'm getting over cold. Okay, so when for Debate 3, it's about suspending human rights for security reasons. And there are some reasons, well, an overlying reason why you could suspend human rights for security reasons. But on the other side, they say you should never suspend human rights for security reasons because it is a violation of obviously human rights. If they're not being upheld, then how can these people still feel safe? But I feel that when it comes to human rights, it's hard to truly know what the parameters are to enforce them. And because human rights are constantly evolving and changing with history, it's hard to know exactly what someone needs from them. But we do have a rough idea right now. Like for human rights, we should never violate religion, gender, political affiliation, ethnicity violation, etc. But it's hard to know, again, like the instances when the government could suspend or provide human rights for their people. So, to go over my initial points, I just want to iterate that there are times where the government in the past has failed their own people in upholding human rights for the citizens. So, a greater international organization like the United Nations or the International Criminal Court may have to suspend a country from being on their board in order to prosecute those who are committing crimes against their people. So, per my example from my initial video of Libya, when the government is not working to provide a safe and secure life for their people, then they cannot effectively govern on this board because if they cannot protect their own people, why should they be making decisions for other countries for protecting them too? So the United Nations did suspend Libya from the Security Council, which had never been seen before. Excuse me. So, to acknowledge the other side as a response, I do understand from the opposing view that human rights should never be compromised for any reason because it is a violation of the initial statute of human rights that says we will not take this away from you. But per some of the other debate videos expressing that these rights should not be taken away, but if they cannot uphold the rights, that's when I feel like a higher organization, such as the UN, should step in and rework the systems in order to continue to protect these innocent people that aren't committing these atrocities or acts of terrorism, etc. And they're probably trying to escape the human rights violations. And then, just to bump up my case a little bit, another example is in Nigeria. There was a rebel group that broke off from the national government and they were committing acts of terrorism against their own people. So, what the United States had to do was stop sending their military aid to the government because they were unsure if the aid and supplies were going to these insurgents or going to end up in the right hands and the people that were trying to actively fight them. So it seems that when a world power is suspending their aid to a country, there does not seem to be a change for the better in terms of protecting human rights without complete intervention and sometimes like a takedown of the current government or overruling dominating party. There will not be a working solution. So overall, I feel that there are some severe and rare occasions when the atrocities are so bad at the state that there needs to be a suspension of the human rights in order to evaluate the integrity of the government and their duty to their people. The restructuring needs to come from, again, an organization that has the greater power of the country and can get assistance from other nations to improve the human rights. So, again, that would be the United Nations. So, even though in this debate it's not necessarily what I exactly believe in, it's what from my research, I found that there are some instances where human rights have been compromised and there needs to be a complete shutdown sometimes of the government system in order to rework it and rebuild it up so that it can be a safe nation again for these people. Thank you.